are delinquent in many cases, and so I think there is a natural partnership that could occur, and we could be a support to this.
Commissioner Parker, you still have the floor.
Madam Chair, that's all. Just that I hope that we will. I think the county commissioners could provide some names and help to identify some youth members who would be good to be included on this.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, Monty just asked me a question. The Youth Council is not predominantly made up of youth. I think this advisory group seems very unique to me in that it is mostly youth advising us about our services, where the Youth Council is mostly adults and maybe a few youth that are advising Workforce Solutions on services. So where we have access to youth, I think that we could be an asset to this, pulling this group together that Monty is leading, but it would be uniquely different from the Youth Council. Should be connected in some way, but I think it's somewhat different.
Madam Chair, and the thing of it is the question that Commissioner McDonough had asked in terms of Youth Works, is almost the same thing is how does all of these flow together. So I think that's the whole purpose of this update, is saying some of these things all need to be together, or at least knowing who does what to whom and how often. Right. And I'm serious. You're laughing.
I just have a way of wording things. So.
I apologize. I'm sorry. But anyway, but can I ask one other question? How does the moving kids forward on handwritten page 2 correspond with the previous item that we were just looking at, that are the kids aging out of foster placement, getting Section 8 vouchers? How is that being integrated and or worked together? And if it's not, try and at least peek at that, because that has some real opportunities. Mm-hmm. Because that's why I was part of why I was asking the question earlier.
Mr. Redmond, and the question is about the moving kids for preparation of youth for adulthood and the previous discussion around the HUD vouchers.
Because I see them sort of being a little bit, that this is sort of the target's rope getting them over to the housing.
There's a wide range of things one needs to do for preparing youth for adulthood, and for the target audience in this project here, it is youth that are 18 to 21, sometimes as young as 16, but mostly 18 to 21, where we're trying to help them learn a broad range of functionality to function in society, because they are youth that are growing up outside of a family. And so we want to have them the financial skills, the cooking skills, the looking for job, the transportation skills, etc. And critical among that is housing. And so, as you correctly noted earlier, the vouchers are allowing us to help some of these kids. Now, if these kids are in long-term foster care and in settled long-term foster care until they turn adults, then they won't need that voucher. But we have in the last year used some of the first wave of those vouchers for these very youth to get them settled as 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and then bring to them a variety of other services. But the enhancement that's in here is that this has been primarily a Human Services Department functionality, and now we see opportunities with other county agencies from workforce to public health to others, to help develop a better rounded set of information and services to connect youth with other kinds of help so that they can better establish themselves in the adult world.
Excuse me, Commissioner Ortega.
Heather, as we move forward, I guess I would like to see both internally and externally who we're collaborating with, and in what areas. My sense or my goal is how do I assess access and capacity across that. This is basically a continuum of service. And so by naming corrections, workforce solution, that doesn't mean anything to me. So as we move down the road, and I know you're in the initial stages, it'd be good to know who within what department are we talking about. Because this also has budget implications. We come and do the budget and we're making decisions there that might be incompatible with what we're trying to achieve here. We should at least be aware of that when we make a decision. That's just one example. The other one is, as we go, even though we have quite an extensive collaboration with a lot of community services, we do not cover the waterfront. And if there are obvious players that are missing, we should then know that there is a gap there, rather than assuming that our current collaborations will fill that need of service just because they exist.
And I just have a quick comment on the plan as presented as well. I really appreciate the fact that we really are trying to, and I know the whole collaboration idea, obviously, is to break down the silos that we have within departments, and it is really great to see that really happening here. And the outreach to the community, obviously, we don't get this done on our own, so the collaboration goes beyond Ramsey County. But having the different departments fully engaged in this, I think is really critical for success, and it's really nice to see that happening.
Chair Reinhardt, Commissioners, I know that from speaking with our department heads, they are committed to doing this, and I think there's a lot of good ideas and a lot of innovative and creative solutions within our departments, and they have brought it this far, and I know they're committed to taking it even further. So thank you very much for your words of support.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Thank you. Then we will go to, well, actually, one thing that I would like to note on the calendar is, although next Tuesday is a fifth Tuesday, so we don't have a county board meeting, we do have our budget hearing, and that will start at 10 o'clock here in the chambers. But this is obviously for county board meetings, and I wanted to make sure that people knew that. And yes, actually, I figured Commissioner Bennett would talk about the hearing, the public hearing that we're having on next Monday.
I want to talk about it?
Mm-hmm. You do?
Sure I do?
Yes, you do.
Yes, I'm sure you do. So how about if I do other stuff first?
Let's do all the other stuff first.
Okay, well, I'm sure that all the commissioners have found the same thing. This has been a very busy, busy time. Yes.
Hasn't it just been?
It has been, and I will try to touch on just a few of the things. Well, yesterday there was an AMC Board of Directors meeting to talk mostly or primarily about the upcoming legislative session, and I did share with the board and I said it wouldn't be official until today, but the principles that we've adopted in Ramsey County, and they're going to look at those as kind of the base, because it's the principles and it talks about the issues, but it also gives some specific ideas on how to implement, which is broader than just this is what we would like to see, but this is how we think it could be done, and how it could be done in a fair, balanced, and fiscally responsible way. And so I believe that they're going to use that as the base and to try to bring forward something from AMC. So I was really happy that our staff and the board really put so much time and effort into crafting that statement. I also...
And the property tax study group, too.
Yes.
And Jeff Tech.
There were so many people that were involved in that, and I'm glad that we're going to be able to share it. I did attend, and so did Commissioner Carter, the National Adoption Day event on Saturday morning, where there were, I believe, 15 children that were adopted. And this is the fourth event that we have done, and it is such a joy. And there is so much love while this is happening, while families are being, I mean, they know their families, but this is the formal process to make sure that the world knows their families. And it is such an absolutely fabulous event, and I will let Commissioner Carter talk about that as well. From there, on Saturday, I went to Bloomington and was a panel member for the Partners in Policymaking, and I know other commissioners around the table have attended that as well. And these are folks from across the state, including obviously Ramsey County, but family members or loved ones or themselves, self-advocates, who have developmental disabilities, and talking about the county level of responsibility and what they can do to advocate for themselves, not only at the county level, but at the state and federal levels as well. And it is also something that is really interesting, and I always learn something when I'm there. The Rush Line Corridor met and got the 2-week update on the Rush Line ridership, and the ridership is growing. We're trying to get the message out. More and more people are saying, oh, it's available. And in fact, I just submitted this morning an article to the White Bear Press that talks about Rush Line, and again, trying to make people aware of the fact that it's there. So it is going very, very well, and as expected, the ridership will grow. And then also, well, I'll just touch on the Ramsey County League of Local Governments, and Commissioner Parker and Rettman were there. I'm trying to remember who else was there. And the recognition of folks that will no longer be in elected office, but also talking about veteran services. And I will let either Commissioner Parker or Rettman talk a little bit more about that. And then finally, there were 2 other board meetings. The Landmark Center board met and really laid out what is going to be happening within the next year, and especially actually for the holiday season. They have, and I have been to it, the St. Nicholas exhibit, and talks about the history of St. Nick and the different traditions that kind of came forward. And I actually took my 9-month-old grandson. Now, I don't know that he understood everything, but he seemed to enjoy all of the...
He didn't cry.
He didn't cry. He's a good person. Not that he never cries, but he had really did enjoy looking at all of the different displays. So even for very young children, there's a lot there. They also have, as part of that exhibit, where you can do, I'm not sure what the actual name of it is, but it's artwork where you lay a piece of paper down and put a different colors over top of it, and the picture then rises up. And you can make a little St. Nicholas hat, and there's just a lot of activities. It's a very small area, but you would really enjoy it, I believe. And then, of course, the CTIB meeting where some pretty major decisions were made. Exciting time, I think, for the region, and I will let Commissioner McDonough elaborate on that. So who would like to go next? Commissioner Parker.
Well, as long as you mentioned the Ramsey County League meeting, I'll talk a little bit about it, and then Commissioner Rettman can add. It was, the program was Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, which I know some of you have already heard presentations about. And what this is a program that is sponsored by the National Guard in Minnesota to help families of our active military, as well as the veterans who are coming home and providing supports that they need after they get back and reintegrating into the community. And then we also had a presentation by Maria Weatherall from Ramsey County Veterans Services about what services are available in Ramsey County, and a little bit more detail about the services offered by her department. And first of all, I want to say that we should all be very proud of Maria and the services that are provided by the Veterans Services. I know that function has had some hiccups over the years, and right now I think it's just in great shape. So good job, everybody who helped work on that. The Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program is encouraging local communities to get volunteer support to do all kinds of things